O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Meditation for a moment. Welcome back. So, dear brothers and sisters, before we start today's program, in absence of Sister Vibha Saxena, she is engaged in other matter. So let us invoke the great ones who are the behind the Theosophical Society, its formation, as well as still the inner founders influencing us to go to work for the Theosophical Society wholeheartedly. For that reason, we are all here. So let us, for a couple of minutes, for a moment, we can pray, sing. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve. The brethren, last time, Brother Madhav Sharma from Ujjain, he asked one question regarding William J. Ross. He narrated this concept of God, which is set forth in the Buddhist doctrine. So he wants that what is the core point. I am reading that in Buddhism there is no mention of God. One finds in it no mythological vision, no tangible creed. It is published in the 1975, written by in the excellent article written by William J. George, which Sister Joy Mills quoted in this book, Review of Mahatma Letters. The book is Reflection of an Ageless Wisdom. So here she quoted, it is as it were a therapy, a treatment for those who recognize the pain of human condition and are strong enough to follow the cure which is prescribed. So, Brother Sharma, here William mentioned that in Buddhism there is no mention of God or mythological vision. Mythology means what the Hindus are projecting Lord Narayana in a different format. And many people in many religions, they are projecting God in a different formats. So in Buddhism, there is no mythological vision, no tangible creed in which you can find the God. So what in Buddhism is that treatment of human being, how the pain of human condition are strong enough to follow the cure which is prescribed. Buddha Ashtanga Marga, then four sorrows. It is not so much a religious philosophy, means Buddhism, what are the texts available for us in Buddhism. It is not a religious philosophy as the advice of spiritual physician. The Buddha diagnoses the human problem. All is sorrow, he says. Then he gives the cause, ignorant craving. Man suffers because he constantly wants. And when he gets what he wants, he finds it does not satisfy his craving. So this is all things William J. Ross mentioned on the concept of the God, on the concept of God in the article published in the Theosophical Society in the centenary year of Theosophical Society that it was published. Now, just few days back, one of our sisters, while she is discussing with me, she raised that there are many gods and goddesses in a different format. They are helping us also. So there is no doubt of it. Here, Mahatma mentioned that a very fast sentence. He did not recognize a pronoun, a God, G capital. So, the opinion of great teacher is that this Param Brahm, Param Pita, or God, or whatever name, it is not finite, infinite. It is a causeless cause. It is a tattva, principle, immutable law. That Mahatma trying to convey it for us to understand. So in this context, we will study our subject. For that, I am projecting one PowerPoint, which I left on that particular time. The end of part 3, part 2. Just wait for a moment. So last time in the slide number 19, just it has completed that its material are ever changing for combination, etc., etc. But its principle or elements being absolutely indestructible. So today we will continue the slide number, let me verify it. Slide number 19. As to God, again, Mahatma mentioned, as to God, since no one has ever or at any time seen him or it, unless he or it is the very essence and nature of this boundless eternal matter, its energy and motion, we cannot regard him as either eternal or infinite or yet self-existing. This first slide, no one has seen God at any time, seen him or it, unless he or it is the very essence and nature of this boundless eternal matter, its energy and motion. We cannot regard him as either eternal or infinite or yet self-existent. So Mahatma here mentioned that all one can see or one can see him or it, whether it is God, then he is the very essence, nature of this boundless eternal matter. If any entity or if any human being, if he of any being or atom of that stage, he can reach of that very essence. His consciousness is becoming this very essence and nature of this boundless eternal matter, its energy, its motion. Then he can probably, Mahatma conveys here that he or she can know it, or he can know, this entity can know or can see who is God. To our present mind or to present scenario, maybe Lord Krishna, while giving Gita to Arjuna, Lord Krishna revealed his this Sahasra Purusha. Like that, whatever, whoever may be, that it is mentioned here, no one, unless he or it is the very essence and nature of this boundless eternal matter. Then second point, we refuse to admit a being or an existence of which we know absolutely nothing. Mahatma here said, they are not accepting anyone who is God, who has absolutely, they don't have admitted, because A says, there is no room for him in the presence of that matter, whose undeniable properties and qualities we know thoroughly well. If we believe the existence of the masters, if we believe the occult philosophy, esoteric doctrine, then Mahatma, we have to accept that there is no room for him in the presence of that matter, whose undeniable properties and qualities we know thoroughly well. Mahatma mentioned here, he knows, they know that the undeniable property, quality, they know what is the essence of that, that ultimate reality. There is no room for it. So next slide. Next is slide number 20. Because, another reason Mahatma mentioned, because if he or it is but a part of that matter, suppose this entity, that Param Brahma or absolute, if he or it is a part of that matter, means the matter of in which the body is prepared, it is ridiculous to maintain that he is the mover and ruler of that which he is but a dependent part. So I have my full body. My hand is a part of my full body. So if anyone compare that my hand is a part of that body and a hand cannot move whole. So here, suppose this whole cosmos is a matter, in that the Param Brahma is a part of that whole cosmos. Mahatma mentioned he is the mover, ruler of that which he is but a dependent part. My hand is dependent of this whole body, like that. So a part cannot move the whole. Here Mahatma tries to convey us. Point C, because if they tell us that God is self-existent, his theology says, oh, Swayambhu, the God is Swayambhu. God means one entity. Swayambhu, self-existent, pure spirit, no way connected with matter. independent of matter, an extra cosmic deity, we answered that admitting the possibility of such an impossibility, that is quite impossible, that his existence, we are told that a purely immaterial spirit cannot be an intelligent conscious ruler. A purely immaterial spirit, spirit with matter, joined together is consciousness, life. So immaterial spirit means there is no matter at all. As Theosophy teaches us, a spirit or consciousness, no existence with matter. Matter, no existence with the consciousness. So combined together, there will exist existence. Another example, electricity. Positive cannot give light. Positive, negative joined together give us light. Like that, negative wire cannot give light. Negative, positive. Like that, spirit, matter joined together, there will be life or something, consciousness. We are told in many theosophical books. So here, theologians say there in the spirit, Param God, there is no matter. So Mahatma explained that a purely immaterial spirit cannot be an intelligent, conscious ruler, nor can he have any of the attributes bestowed upon him by theology. And thus such a God became again a blind force. If a theologian, means those who are believer of God, they said that God is like this, it is a blind force. So we'll go to the intelligence. Here Mahatma mentioned intelligence. This time our in 148 International Convention, that a universal intelligence, something is mentioned in a theme. So intelligence, intellect, above intellect is intelligence. As found in our Dhyan Chawans. Dhyan Chawans means the higher, more than higher Mahatmas. They are the Dhyan Chawans. They are known as intelligence being. So Mahatma mentioned, intelligence is a faculty that can appertain but to organize or animated being, however imponderable or rather invisible the material of their organization. So kindly imagine we have Lord Buddha, one of our highest planetary spirit of this earth, and above is Sanat Kumar, above is Silent Watcher, then above them different texts of Hindus and Christians they are mentioning. But you don't have any direct knowledge of who are above them. So kindly imagine that a person who is a Dhyan Chawar, they have that organized, imponderable, invisible matter consisting of their body. So what are here Mahatma trying to explain us, that intelligence requires necessity of thinking. Say, think of the Sanat Kumar, who is in charge of Earth planet. He has to think something, how to spiritualize the whole Earth planet. That was a charge given to him. So also the Silent Watcher, so also the Lord Buddha. So they are the intelligent being. They have to think something. To think, one must have some ideas. What are their ideas? What is given to them by solar logos? That was the ideas. Ideas, suppose senses, which are the physical matter. How can anything material belong to pure spirit? So if a pure spirit, no iota of matter in it, how can that pure spirit be like this? Mahatma mentioned. If it is objected that though cannot be a property of matter, we will ask the reason why. Mahatma further given the option why they will change that. Then we will go to the slide number 23. we must have an unanswerable proof of this assumption before we can accept it. Or the theologian would inquire, what was there to prevent his God? Lord, our masters, Mahatma, they are ready to give the concrete evidence, concrete substance to believe it. But in otherwise, suppose theologian who are believer of the God, they inquire, then if there is, if God is not like what they believe, then what is that God? Since he is the alleged creator of all, to endow matter with a faculty of thought, like this theologian believe. And when answered that evidently it has not pleased him to do so, that is a mystery as well as impossibility, we would insist upon being told. I marked it in red letter. Why it is more impossible that matter should produce spirit and thought than spirit or the thought of God should produce and create the matter. How is in a different context, Mahatma mentioned that how they are going to say this is a matter should produce spirit and thought. Why it is more impossible that matter, a substance, Prakriti, he will produce spirit and thought. Then spirit or thought of God should produce the create matter. So this is not possible. So what is theosophy teaches us? Other Sanatana Dharma, there is one absolute being, out of that coming spirit and matter, then manifestation. That Mahatma trying to mention to give us that idea. We have to we have to see it in that angle, that one ultimate immutable law, out of that spirit and matter both are coming. Spirit and matter, then manifestation. So we'll go to the next slide. We do not bow our heads in the dust before the mystery of the mind. Mystery of mind, for Mahatma said, we have solved it ages ago. Rejecting with contempt the theist theory, we reject as much as the automation theory. What is theist theory? Theist theory is blind belief in the existence of a God with a different format. I am so I prepare my God in a different format. That is the theist theory. Then as much as automaton theory, what is automaton theory? Means I as an individual prepare, I prepared Lord Indra like this, I prepared Lord Ganesh like this. So it is my own mechanical idea, so I am preparing whatever idea come to my mind. So I prepare that, or that is automaton theory. Teaching that states of consciousness are produced by the marshalling of the molecules of the brain. Here, Mahatma brings science for us, brain preparing the molecules of the brain, marshalling the brain, produced by the marshalling of the brain. Means the brain of a human being, he prepared, this brain prepared whatever idea comes to us, we prepare the God or goddesses according to our idea in the brain. And we feel as little respect for other hypotheses, the production of molecular motions by consciousness. Then we will go to the next point. What do we believe? Means what Mahatma believes. And of course, as a student of theosophy, sincere student of theosophy, what is there for us to believe? Well, we believe in the much laughed at phlogiston. What is force and matter? Theosophy September issue. at that 1982 the year. Mahatma mentioned that September 1882 means September in Theosophist 1882. This what is force, what is matter. This is relating to Mahatma letter number 10. Next letter is Mahatma letter number 11 as per old books. So it is relating to, at that time, science. They are projecting that there is no God, only force, energy, motion, all these things. So it is mentioned in like that manner. And in what some natural philosophers would call lysis, the incessant, though perfectly imperceptible motion or efforts our body is making on another, the pulsation of inert matter, its life. So this is what we are projecting, that all these things relating to the motion and efforts of our body making an another. The bodies of the planetary spirits are form of that which priestly other called phlogiston, and for which we have another name. What is the another name? Next slide, slide number 25. This essence in its highest seventh state. We have seven principles. First, second, man and his seven bodies, man and seven principles are there. So the highest seventh state, forming that matter of which organism of the highest and purest dhyans are composed, in its lowest and densest form, is so impalpable yet that science calls it energy and force, serving as a cover to the planetaries of the first or lowest degree. The planetary spirits like Lord Buddha, Sanat Kumar, others who are, they are the their bodies. The question is like that: their bodies are made of this highest seventh principle, and the lowest is first. The lowest part means first principle. Suppose if you can consider it is known as energy and force. And the seventh, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh state, the science has not gone to that far. So whatever is available to us, they say it is force, it is energy. Mahatma in this second point of this slide said, we believe in matter alone, Prakriti alone, in matter as visible nature and matter in its invisibility as the invisible, omnipresent, omnipotent protos with its unceasing motion, which is its life and which nature draws from herself. Since she means nature, Prakriti, is the great whole. Prakriti is a great whole, outside which nothing can exist. Means its name is different. It is Tattva, absolute. So whatever visible, invisible, nature, matter in its invisibility as the invisible, omnipresent, everywhere it is present. Omnipotent, protos with its unceasing motion. Every time it is moving, motion, which is its life, which nature draws from herself, since she is the great whole, outside of which nothing can exist. So this is what Mahatma explained here, the matter, which is the everywhere present. For as Wellinger truly asserts, motion is a manner of existence that flows, sorry. That flows necessarily out of the essence of the matter. Motion is a manner of existence. Means suppose you will mark in a water, some kind of vibration started. So the motion started. So motion started from where? From the vibration inside the water. There's some kind of example to understand. So the motion or vibration, whatever it is coming, is essence of the, that is the essence of the matter. That matter moves by its own peculiar energies. That its motion is due to the force which is inherent in itself. So the vibration, the force, whatever we can name it, in the matter, it is inherent within it. So because of inherent within it, it vibrates, it moves. So that is the creating energy. We have to move that. That variety of motion and the phenomena that result proceed from the diversity of the properties, of the qualities, and of the combination which are originally found in the primitive matter, Mula Prakriti. In a Sanatan Dharma, it is a Mula Prakriti, of which nature is the assemblage of, and of which your science knows less than one of our Tibetan drivers of Kant metaphysics. So here Mahatma compare, in Tibet there are many drivers, they knows many things. There are many Pandits, many in India, they knows a lot of things. I remember when our Pandit of Indian session was traveling in a boat with us. Brother Pedro and others, Subralina, Mitalini are there. So Pedro asked, why there are so many goddesses, gods are there? So the Ramdhar, a simple cook in Indian session, he narrated beautifully about all this. This is one absolute Param, but it is a reflection of those entities. So Mahatma answered, young driver of Tibetan, he knows many things better than this Kant's metaphysics. So we'll go to the next slide. Slide number 27. The existence of Mahatma here summarized before going to the next important person of this letter. Summarized: existence of matter is a fact. Existence of matter is a fact. Existence of motion within the matter, that energy, etc., is another fact. Their self-existence and eternity or indestructibility is a third fact. The matter, there is no. Mahatma probably explained in another way for this Western world about this energy and about this force, motion in letter number 11, which in the new book it is letter number 65. So the motion, matter is self-existent, eternity. There is no question of a stoppage here, there. And indestructibility is a third fact. And the idea of a pure spirit as a being or an existence, give it in whatever name you will, the chimera, gigantic, absolute. A spirit, a being without any matter within it is a misnomer. There is no question of that existence. So here we almost completed 2/3 of the letter, means about God and about the matter, concept of a matter, concept of God. So we can go to the third important ideas on evil, the suffering everywhere in the world. So I have just highlighted with a yellow background. So it is for you to go through it. Evil has no existence per se. Whatever evil happening in the world, just imagine it. Evil in the world, evil in our state, evil in our home, evil within me. whatever suffering, etc., etc. Kindly imagine yourself. Evil has no existence per se. Mulu, from the very beginning, perseverance from beginning, evil has no existence. And it's but the absence of good, because it absent exists but for him who made its victim. I created this evil for me, so I am the victim. Country created, world created, so this victim, the world suffering, India is suffering, Ukraine or Russia, they are fighting, all these problems created by us. So we are victim. It proceeds from two causes, and no more than good. It is an independent cause in nature. So you cannot say it is an independent cause of nature. It is a cause created by man. So what are these two causes? We will go through the next slide. Nature is destitute of good or malice, goodness or malice. In nature there is no acha hai, no bura hai. It is destitute of all these two things. Nature is destitute of goodness or malice. She follows only immutable law. Nature follows only immutable laws. When she either gives life or joy, sends suffering and death, destroys what she has created. This is the very basic. I just in bold letter. So what nature is following? It is immutable law. Immutable law she is following. When she either gives life or joy, jo anand de rahe, it is because nature de rahe, it is as because of a immutable law. Suffering and death, it is because of immutable law. Destroys what she has created, that is also according to law. Nature has an antidote of every poison, and her laws reward for every suffering. Everything, whatever is happening, it is all within the nature. Then Mahatma given what beautiful examples to ponder over, to see how nature is working. The butterfly, devoured by a bird, became the bird. And the little bird killed by an animal goes into higher form. It is the blind law of necessity and the eternal fitness of things, and hence cannot be called evil in nature. If it will come to our mind, हमारा अंदर mind में आ जाएंगे जो tiger है वो deer को खा जाता है. The tiger eating this animal, so it is also evil. But Mahatma mentioned that it is a blind law of necessity. It is a blind law of necessity and eternal fitness of things. Hence, it cannot be called evil. This is letter number 28, slide number 28. We will go to the next slide. The real evil proceeds from human intelligence. In just a few sentences before, Mahatma mentioned intelligence of Dhan Chauvans. They are intelligence being. So here, evil, whatever evils happening around us or within me or in my family or in our state, everywhere evil proceeds from human intelligence, and its origin rests mentally with reasoning man who dissociate himself from nature. From nature they have dissociated. So that is the reason the evils happen to him. Humanity then alone is the true source of evil. How challenging sentence. Humanity then alone is the true source of evil. Evil is the exaggeration of good, progeny of human selfishness and greediness. Human selfishness and greediness. More money, more building, more and more. There is no end to greed. There is no end to greed. So here Mahatma mentioned evil is the exaggeration of good and the progeny of human selfishness and greediness. Then further Mahatma mentioned, think profoundly, you will find that save death, if you will find that save death, which is no evil but a necessary law. Death is a no evil. It is a necessary law. And the accidents which will always find their reward in the future, the origin of every evil, whether small or great, is in human action. In man whose intelligence makes him the one free agent in nature. So the Mahatma mentioned accident and death. Death is a necessary accident. Suppose one person accidentally he met and he expired, he gone to peace, then in a future he will be in a reward. The origin of every evil, whether small or great, is human action. Whatever evil is there, small, घर में कुछ evil आप कर रहे, तो it is you who is responsible, or great is in your human action. In man whose intelligence makes him, but here Mahatma mentioned another important point for us to ponder over, that intelligence makes us the one free agent in nature. Intelligence giving us that power, which is not available in an animal or other lower kingdoms, but it is given to us in human being to make us as a free agent in nature. So that is the end of slide number 29. We'll go to another 3 slides, so we'll complete today. So the real evils, we'll go to the next slide. It is not nature that creates disease. Suppose I have some kind of disease, or anyone has some disease. It is not nature creates disease, but the man. The latter's mission and destiny in the economy nature is to die his natural death brought by old age. So I have to die because of nature due to my old age. Save accident, neither a savage nor wild animal die of disease. Here given an example of a old man can die, but a person in an accident, he may gone, or the savage type of semi-civilized people or wild animal, they die because of disease. You will mark during COVID times, many laborers, many beggars, they don't suffer because of COVID. Human being, because of this evils, we suffer. Then Mahatma further mentioned, further mentions the food, sexual relations, drink, all are natural necessity of life. Food, sexual relationship, and drink, ये है natural necessities of life. Yet excess in them brings some disease, misery, suffering, mental and physical. So anything of excess of these things are because of human intelligence. Human intelligence, we committed all kinds of mistakes, excess, so that we suffer. Then next slide, slide number 31. And the latter are transmitted as the greatest evil to future generations. If it is excess, so we are creating evils for the future generation. Progeny of the culprits. You see the words used, the progeny of the culprits. Ambition. Mahatma mentioned the second point of this slide. Ambition. Then the desire of securing happiness, comfort for those we love by obtaining honors and riches are praiseworthy natural feelings. Mahatma said it is praiseworthy for natural feelings. But when they transform man into an ambitious, cruel tyrant, a miser, a selfish egotist, they bring manifold misery on those around him, on nations as well as individuals. So here, clear-cut option given to us. Whether we will have excess of anything, it will be bad. Not only bad for human being, but for the nation. So it is a future generation, future generations, individual beings means our the son, grandsons, etc., all these things. So it is slide number 31. We'll go to the next slide. This here we will end this for today's study and discussion explanation. All this then, food, wealth, ambition, and thousand other things we have to leave unmentioned becomes the source and cause of evil, whether it's in its abundance or through its absence. What is abundance? Excessive. If we give excessive thing, we will suffer. Just suppose we have going to attend a feast. If excessive food, it will create indigestion problem next day. Then nothing or absence of it, it's also suffering for us. So Mahatma given here, source and cause of evil. Then become a glutton, excess of drinks, excess of sex, excess of eat, etc. Glutton, debauch, excess of alcohol, drugs, tyrant, and you become the originator of diseases, of human suffering and misery. So the evil is not in the nature, or for that evil we are worshipping gods to cure us from disease, etc., etc. Evil is not there because they have, means God, goddesses have not created disease for us. It is we human being created disease because of its abundance and thorough its absence. So brother, this is third part of this letter, beautiful letter. As Sampaji mentioned, I am very close to try to understand this letter. I'm trying my best for you, just to, you can go through it in your book or the video in YouTube, see it, interpret it on your own way, because Mahatma always says that illumination comes from within. I am trying to best create some kind of some kind of interest within you to read it several times. Then you will understand what Mahatma trying to give some kind of food for meditation. With these words, I close this session this year. Before that, I request Minakhi ji to speak in Hindi. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brother Mahapatra जी. आज हम लेटर नंबर 88 का अगला पार्ट ले रहे हैं. मास्टर कहते हैं कि ईश्वर के बारे में कहे तो चूंकि किसी ने भी उसे कभी नहीं देखा है और जब तक कि वह इस असीम शाश्वत प्रकृति का सार और स्वरूप है, इसकी ऊर्जा और गति है, हम उसे शाश्वत या अनंत या स्वयंभू नहीं मान सकते हैं. हम किसी भी सत्ता या अस्तित्व को स्वीकार करने से इनकार करते हैं जिसके बारे में हम बिल्कुल भी नहीं जानते हैं, क्योंकि उस प्रकृति की समक्षता में उसके लिए कोई जगह नहीं है जिसके निर्विवाद गुणों और विशेषता को हम बखूबी जानते हैं. क्योंकि यदि वह प्रकृति का एक हिस्सा है तो यह मानना हास्यास्पद होगा कि जिसका वह केवल आश्रित हिस्सा है वह उसका संचालक और शासक है। और क्योंकि अगर वे हमें बताते हैं कि ईश्वर प्रकृति रहित स्वयंभू शुद्ध चैतन्य है, पारलौकिक देवता है, इस पर हम कहेंगे कि इस तरह की संभवता, इस तरह की असंभवता की संभावना यानी असंभावना को यानी उसके अस्तित्व की संभावना को स्वीकार करते हुए हम अभी भी यही कहेंगे कि बिल्कुल ही अमूर्त स्पिरिट एक विचारशील सचेत शासक नहीं हो सकता है और न ही उसमें धर्मशास्त्र द्वारा बहाल किए गए कोई भी गुण अंतर्निहित हो सकते हैं। और इस प्रकार फिर एक ऐसा ईश्वर अज्ञ शक्ति बन जाता है। हमारे ध्यान चौहानों में पाई जाने वाली बुद्धिमत्ता यह वह क्षमता है जो सुसंगठित या चैतन्यमयी सत्ता से संबंधित हो सकती है, चाहे उनके संरचना का द्रव्य कितना भी अगोचर या अदृश्य क्यों न हो। बुद्धिमत्ता के लिए सोचने की आवश्यकता होनी चाहिए। सोचने के लिए किसी को विचार सूझना चाहिए। विचार इंद्रियों की कल्पना है। इंद्रिय भौतिक वस्तु है और कोई भी द्रव्य पदार्थ शुद्ध चैतन्य से, परमात्मा से कैसे संबंधित हो सकता है? यदि इस पर आपत्ति की जाती है कि विचार प्रकृति का गुणधर्म नहीं हो सकता, तो हम इसका कारण पूछेंगे। इससे पहले कि हम इसे स्वीकार करें, हमारे पास इस धारणा का निर्विवाद प्रमाण होना चाहिए। चूंकि धर्मशास्त्रियों के ईश्वर सर्व सृष्टि का कथित निर्माता है, हम उनसे पूछेंगे कि प्रकृति को विचार क्षमता प्रदान करने से उनके ईश्वर को किस बात ने रोका। और जब उत्तर दिया जाएगा कि जाहिर ही ऐसा करना उसे पसंद नहीं आया, कि यह एक रहस्य होने के साथ साथ एक असंभवता भी है, तब हम यह बताने पर जोर देंगे कि स्पिरिट या ईश्वर का विचार प्रकृति को उत्पन्न और निर्माण करना चाहिए, इसकी अपेक्षा प्रकृति को स्पिरिट और विचार उत्पन्न करने में अधिक असंभव क्यों है। मन के रहस्य को सुलझाने हम अपना सर नहीं खपाते हैं, क्योंकि हमने इसे सदियों पहले ही सुलझा लिया है। ईश्वरवादी सिद्धांत का अस्वीकार करने के साथ साथ हम ऑटोमेशन थियोरी यानी स्वयं चलित थियोरी को उतना ही अस्वीकारते हैं, जो सिखाता है कि चेतना की अवस्थाएं मस्तिष्क की अणुओं के अनुक्रमण से उत्पन्न होती है। और हम उस परिकल्पना को भी नहीं मानते जिसमें चेतना द्वारा आणविक गति के उत्पादन को दर्शाया गया है। तो फिर हम किस पर विश्वास करते हैं? जिस पर हंसी उड़ाई गई थी उस फ्लोगिस्टोन पर विश्वास करते हैं, और जिसे कुछ सच्चे दार्शनिक तत्वज्ञानी निसस कहते हैं, वह अविरत यद्यपि पूरी तरह से अगोचर गति या प्रयास है जो एक वस्तु दूसरे वस्तु पर कर रहा है। जड़ पदार्थ के स्पंदन उसका जीवन है। प्लैनेटरी स्पिरिट्स उसी से बने हैं जिसे प्रिस्टली और अन्य लोग फ्लोगिस्टोन कहते हैं और जिसके लिए हमारा अन्य नाम है। यह तत्व अपनी 7वीं उच्चतम अवस्था में वह पदार्थ है जिससे उच्चतम और पवित्रतम ध्यान चौहान की संरचना होती, और निम्नतम या घन रूप में, जो समझने में आसान नहीं, फिर भी विज्ञान इसे ऊर्जा और बल कहते हैं। वह प्रथम श्रेणी या निचली श्रेणी के प्लैनेटरीज के लिए एक आवरण के रूप में कार्य करता है। दूसरे शब्दों में कहे तो केवल प्रकृति में ही विश्वास करते हैं, तो हम केवल प्रकृति में ही विश्वास करते हैं। दृश्य सृष्टि के रूप में प्रकृति, और प्रकृति अपनी अदृश्यता में अदृश्य सर्वव्यापी सर्वशक्तिमान परिवर्तनशील के रूप में अपनी निरंतर गति के साथ जो इसका जीवन है और जिसे प्रकृति स्वयं में से उत्पन्न करती है, क्योंकि वह महान अखंडितता है जिसके बाहर कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता है। जैसा कि बिलफिंगर सही दावा करते हैं, वे कहते हैं कि गति जीवन का एक ऐसा तरीका है जो अनिवार्यतः पदार्थ के सार तत्व से प्रवाहित होता है। वह पदार्थ अपनी विशिष्ट ऊर्जाओं से संचालित होता है कि उसकी गति उस बल के कारण होती है जो उसमें अंतर्निहित है। गति की विविधता और परिणामी घटनाएं उन गुणों और सम्मिश्रण की विविधता से उत्पन्न होती है जो मूलतः प्राथमिक पदार्थ आद्य पदार्थ में पाए जाते हैं, जिसका संयोजन सृष्टि में है। मास्टर कहते हैं कि याक चालकों से भी कम जिसके बारे में याक चालकों से भी कम जानता है, जिसके बारे में कांट की तत्व मीमांसा को आपका विज्ञान हमारे तिब्बती याक चालकों से भी कम जानता है, तब प्रकृति या पदार्थ का अस्तित्व एक तथ्य है, गति का अस्तित्व एक और तथ्य है, उनकी स्वयंभूता और शाश्वतता या अविनाशिता तीसरा तथ्य है, और किसी सत्ता या अस्तित्व के रूप में शुद्ध चैतन्य का विचार यह एक काल्पनिक धारणा है, एक बहुत ही बड़ी मूर्खता है। बुराई के बारे में हमारे विचार इस प्रकार है। दरअसल यानी मास्टर कहते हैं कि बुराई के विचार इस प्रकार है। दरअसल बुराई का अपना स्वयं कोई अस्तित्व नहीं है और यह अच्छाई का अभाव मात्र है, और इसका अस्तित्व केवल उसके लिए है जिसे इसका शिकार बनाया गया हो। यह दो कारणों से उत्पन्न होती है, और अच्छाई के जैसे ही प्रकृति में इसका स्वतंत्र कारण नहीं है। प्रकृति अच्छाई या बुराई रहित है जब वह या तो जीवन और प्रसन्नता देती है या दुख पीड़ा मृत्यु देती है, और जो कुछ उसने निर्माण किया उसे नष्ट कर देती है। तब वह केवल अपरिवर्तनीय नियमों का पालन करती है। प्रकृति के पास हर विष के लिए प्रतिकारक औषधि है, और उसके नियम हर दुख पीड़ा के प्रतिफल देते हैं। एक पक्षी द्वारा खाई गई तितली वही पक्षी बन जाता है, और एक जानवर द्वारा मारा गया छोटा पक्षी उच्चतर रूप में चला जाता है। यह पूर्ण पुनर्जन्म का सिद्धांत और विकास योजना का अज्ञ नियम है, और इसलिए इसे बुराई नहीं कहा जा सकता है। वास्तविक बुराई मानवी मन से उत्पन्न होती है, और इसकी उत्पत्ति पूर्णतः तर्कशील मनुष्य पर निर्भर करती है, जो स्वयं को सृष्टि से विलग कर लेता है। इस तरह मानव जाति ही बुराई का असली स्रोत है। बुराई अच्छाई की अतिशयोक्ति है, मानवीय स्वार्थ और लालच की उत्पत्ति है। गंभीरता पूर्वक विचार करें और आप समझेंगे कि मृत्यु को छोड़कर जो कोई बुराई नहीं है, बल्कि एक अनिवार्य नियम है, और दुर्घटनाएं जिनका फल अगले जन्म में हमेशा मिलेगा। हर बुराई की उत्पत्ति, चाहे वह छोटी हो या बड़ी, वह मानवीय कृत्यों में होती है। उस मनुष्य में जिसका मन उसे सृष्टि में एक मुक्त घटक बनाती है। रोगों का निर्माण प्रकृति नहीं बल्कि मनुष्य करता है। प्रकृति की सुव्यवस्थितता में मनुष्य का उद्देश्य और नियति वृद्धावस्था के कारण आई प्राकृतिक मृत्यु होना है। दुर्घटना को छोड़कर न तो आदिम मनुष्य और न ही वन्य प्राणी रोग होकर मरते हैं। भोजन, यौन संबंध, पेय पदार्थ, ये सभी जीवन की सर्वसाधारण जरूरतें हैं, किंतु उनका अतिरेक शारीरिक और मानसिक बीमारी, दुख, पीड़ा लाती है, और उन दोषियों की संतानों में आने वाली पीढ़ियों में सबसे बड़ी नुकसानदेही के रूप में संचारित हो जाती है। महत्वाकांक्षा, उच्च पद प्राप्ति और धन प्राप्ति करके जिनसे हम प्रेम करते हैं, उनके लिए खुशी और सुख साधन जुटाने की इच्छा प्रशंसनीय स्वाभाविक भावनाएं हैं। लेकिन जब वे मनुष्य को एक महत्वाकांक्षी, क्रूर, अत्याचारी, कंजूस, स्वार्थी, अहंकारी में बदल देता है, तो वे उसके संपर्क में रहने वाले लोगों पर अनगिनत दुख लाते हैं, राष्ट्रों पर और साथ ही व्यक्तियों पर भी। तब फिर भोजन, धन, महत्वाकांक्षा और हजारों अन्य चीजें जिन्हें उल्लेख किए बिना छोड़ना होगा, यह सब उसकी प्रचुरता या उसके अभाव से बुराई का स्रोत है और कारण बन जाती है। पेटू, अत्याचारी, व्याभिचारी बन जाओ और आप बीमारी, मानवी पीड़ा, यातना और दुख के जनक बन जाओगे। थैंक यू। नमस्ते।
Thank you, Minakhi ji. Now I request anyone can ask any interpretation, any questions, or whatever they like to add, they can add it. Yes, sir. Sindhe sir, you are here. Kindly throw some light.
Oh, this letter.
Yes, sir.
This letter is very important about the. You have been dealing with the God, and we are in terms of spirit, matter, motion. We are trying to understand that absolute reality, which we refer as the God or everything. That reality, and that reality. To understand one thing from this letter, I noticed that whatever evil is there, it is because of human intelligence, because of intelligence, human intelligence or human intellect. So there is no evil as such. That is what Master K.H. says. And whatever evil is there, it is because of human species. Once we understand this, then we must, I think, discover ourselves. What are those evil things are there within us? And instead of praying to God, etc., what we know is there is evil within us. Otherwise, in the universe, there is everything is good. There is no evil in the universe. So only we have to remove our evil, then we will touch to the God. That is what I understood from this. Thank you for that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, we don't. If you have no question or nothing to add, I request Madhav ji to sing the closing prayer.
Namaskar. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritangamaya. Oh, सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति
Thank you. Thank you. We will complete this letter in the next class on 1st September. So I now going to close this session. Thank you to each and everyone.